Kongjin was a peaceful countryside town in South Korea, surrounded by quiet roads, small shops, and simple homes. Life moved slowly there, and people trusted one another. Among the many families in the area lived an 8-year-old girl named Kim Sunju. She was gentle, quiet, and always followed the rules her parents taught her. Every morning, she walked to school with her older brother, and every afternoon they returned home together. They shared small conversations, laughed about school happenings, and stayed close to each other. On June 15, 2000, their school finished early because the students were preparing for a trip the next day. Sunju's class ended an hour before her brother's, so she walked to the small stationery shop located near the school gate. This was the usual place where the siblings met. She sat on the wooden bench outside the shop, gently swinging her legs while watching other children pass by. Some classmates saw her sitting there quietly, waiting like she always did. When her brother finished class around 3 p.m., he hurried out, expecting to see her smiling on the bench. But when he got there, she wasn't around. Thinking she might have stepped into the store, he looked inside. He checked the sides of the building and asked several students walking past if they had seen her. No one knew anything. He ran all the way home, hoping she had decided to walk ahead, but the house was empty. His parents immediately rushed to inform the police. Officers began searching nearby places, first questioning children who had left school earlier that day. Many students said they noticed Sunju near the school gate between 2:30 and 2:50 p.m. However, one older boy remembered something more unusual. Around 3:10 p.m., he saw Sunju walking with 3 boys who looked much older, maybe high school age. They were going toward the cattle market side of town, a direction away from her home. This was the last reliable sighting of her. Early the next morning, at around 4, Sunju's father was awakened by the sound of the telephone. He answered immediately, but the caller hung up without saying a single word. When he stepped outside in confusion, he noticed a dark-colored car speeding away from a nearby spot. Later, a neighbor mentioned that a man in a similar car had asked for directions to the school earlier that day. It added more concern, but nothing concrete. Later that morning, another local woman said she had seen a girl who looked very much like Sunju at a store in the center of town. The child was with 2 unfamiliar men, one older, one younger. Police made sketches based on her description, but none matched anyone locals knew. Authorities searched mountains, riversides, empty buildings, farms, and abandoned lots. They checked more than 1,000 passing vehicles, inspected nearby villages, and even contacted national child shelters. But Sunju had vanished without a trace. Almost exactly 1 year later, on June 1, 2001, 6-year-old Kim Hulin went missing. Her class ended around 1:30 in the afternoon, and she walked with a friend until they reached a crossroad near a girls' high school. Her friend turned toward his home, while Hulin walked the opposite way. A witness confirmed she crossed the road safely. Her path was long and mostly empty, lined with rice fields on both sides, and small houses set far apart. Even though she was young, she walked this route daily. But this time, she never arrived home. Police repeated their investigations, questioning students, checking farms, inspecting fields, and searching corners of the neighborhood. But once again, there was no sign of the missing child. Investigators eventually realized that the 2 cases shared many similarities. Both girls disappeared in June, around early afternoon, within a short distance from one another, and while they were on their way home. There were no ransom demands, no suspicious letters, and no clear evidence left behind. It began to seem like one individual might be responsible, but without proof, the case grew cold. 1 year later, an anonymous woman posted a message online claiming she had handed Halloween over to 2 men for begging activities. Police traced the message to a computer room, but the woman was never identified. Her statement disappeared, just like the children. In 2008, after another child-related crime shocked the country, authorities reopened many unsolved missing child cases. A special team reviewed the Kongjin incidents from the beginning. During this process, one name resurfaced again and again, a man known simply as Ma. He had been considered earlier, but police had found nothing solid against him at the time. This new team decided to investigate him more deeply. Ma's ex-wife then shared something she had kept secret for years. One day, while cleaning their old home, she found videotapes she believed were movies. When she played one, she was horrified. The footage showed Ma abusing a young girl who strongly resembled missing Holland. She also recognized the background in the tape. It was Ma's private apartment. The shock of that discovery eventually led her to leave him. Police carefully interviewed her multiple times, asking her to describe the girl she saw. She repeated her descriptions consistently. When officers finally showed her a real picture of Holland, she said the child in the tape looked extremely similar to the girl in the photo. Not long after, another victim came forward. A man named Minsu said that when he was a small kindergarten boy, Ma tricked him into visiting an apartment, gave him snacks, and assaulted him while recording. Officers asked him to describe the apartment from memory, and he described its layout in detail. The description matched Ma's secret apartment. Police searched Ma's living spaces and found several troubling items: cameras, rope, a saw, and hair accessories. These items made investigators fear that something terrible had happened in those rooms. However, at that time Ma was in prison, serving a sentence for murdering his ex-wife's brother in 2002. Investigators visited him and questioned him about the missing girls. At first, he rejected the accusations. Later, he reluctantly admitted to harming Minsu and claimed he was behind the disappearances and deaths of both Sunju and Holland. But after some time, he changed his statement again, insisting he had only assaulted the boy and had nothing to do with the two missing children. Without physical evidence, police could not charge him for those crimes. Ma eventually completed his prison sentence in 2017 and changed his name to Na. After his release, he married a woman with intellectual disabilities and isolated her from her family. Her relatives believed he took advantage of her condition and her disability benefits. Later, he was accused of kidnapping and holding her against her will. Na then contacted a well-known investigative TV program, claiming he was being framed. But when the show's staff researched his background, they discovered his past connection to the Kongjin disappearances. They immediately notified the authorities. A new search took place at Na's home, and inside they discovered a thick notebook filled with coded symbols and strange writing. A detective experienced in solving ciphers worked for a long time to break the code. When he finally succeeded, the messages inside revealed disturbing thoughts. Phrases such as psychopath, take advantage of women, I create what I desire, and I come first appeared. Parts of the notebook expressed extremely troubling fantasies involving young children. Investigators also found that after Na left prison, he searched for information about the missing girls, checked how long the statute of limitations lasted, and looked into details of the Kongjin case. It seemed like he wanted to know if he could still face punishment. Despite this collection of hints and suspicious behavior, there was still no physical evidence to directly link him to the disappearances. Without bodies or proof, he remained free. Today, if the girls were still alive, Sunju would be in her early 30s, and Holland would be around the same age. Sunju's mother keeps her daughter's room exactly as it was years ago, clothes neatly folded, books on the shelf, and small letters from friends resting on the desk. She enters the room every day, holding on to the hope that her daughter might one day return. Every evening, she stands near the gate, quietly watching the road. Holland's family also continues to hope for answers, even after so many years have passed. The suspected man lives somewhere in the country, protected by law since he was never convicted in the missing girls case. Investigators still believe he may hold the truth, but without solid proof, the case remains open. Two young children vanished from the same quiet town a year apart, and the truth behind their disappearance still remains hidden. Even after so many years, the truth behind the disappearance of Sunju and Holland remains hidden. Their families continue to wait, hoping that one day someone will speak, a clue will appear, or a memory will finally lead to answers. Time has passed, but the pain has stayed the same. A quiet town that once felt safe now carries a story that no one can forget. The case is still open, and investigators hope that modern technology or a new witness may someday reveal what truly happened. Until that day comes, the memory of the two girls lives on in the hearts of their loved ones and in the minds of those who still follow the case. Thank you for watching this story on Crimes Occultos. If you want more true crime stories, real missing person cases, and deep investigations, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications, and stay connected. Your support helps us bring more detailed and carefully researched stories like this to you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Stay safe, stay aware, and we hope to see you again in the next video. Thank you for watching Crimes Ocultos.